Well, all right. We've got more drama in the metal world, and go figure, it's Slipknot again. To everybody in chat on Twitch right now while we're filming, welcome. Thank you for being here. And YouTubers later, or YouTube viewers later, I guess. Hi. Man, every time we sit down to talk about music news, it's been Slipknot. But if you guys don't know what's going on, I want to kind of go over this and kind of just discuss. Slipknot is getting sued by the estate of Joey Jordison. And while in a minute we will dive into the more specific details, the basis of all of the allegations and what they're getting sued over are that they have profited off of Joey Jordison's name post Joey Jordison's death. More specifically, they have profited off of the death of Joey Jordison. That's what the lawsuit is alleging from his estate. And I'll be totally honest in my opinion. I don't think that's an unfair statement to make because, yeah, they kind of have been. But we'll save opinions and everything for what we're going to read through. So let's pull this up really quick. Now, I know what some of you are probably thinking. You're like, dude, TMZ? Really? We're reading TMZ? TMZ was actually the first news source to break this story, which is why I want to go with that. And as much flack as TMZ gets for being TMZ, I mean, let's be honest, like it's gossip and drama. That's what they live for. They're pretty good at finding stuff out, to be honest. So they originally broke this story. I'm going to read it from there. And we'll check it out. So the headline says, Slipknot sued, allegedly kept late drummer's stuff to profit off his death. I gotta imagine that's probably like the stuff that's in like the Knotfest Roadshow Museum, because there's definitely Joey stuff in there. There's videos of it online. The article starts by saying, Slipknot is being hauled into court over its late drummer Joey Jordison. The company managing his estate claims the band is cashing in off Joey's belongings by displaying them in a traveling museum. According to the documents obtained by TMZ, the company running Joey's estate is suing the band, claiming it used Jordison's death in 2021 to boost sales for their 2022 album, The End So Far. Shrooms and Metal in chat just said, TMZ, we know who Joey is. I mean, I was thinking the same thing. It's like, but you gotta imagine, a lot of people read TMZ that are just into drama and gossip and probably don't know which one Joey is. But to me, as a longtime Slipknot fan, it is kind of funny that there's an arrow to Joey. I mean, dude, there's like 5 people in this picture that aren't in the band anymore. Or 4 maybe, but let's continue. The lawsuit claims the album wasn't selling as well following Joey's 2021 death, so band members Corey Taylor and Michael Sean Cran told fans the album was dedicated to Joey, and the realization that Jordison had passed away really crept in while making it. What's more, the company claims Corey and Michael lied when they I'm just gonna say clown from now on. I'm sorry, I can't say Michael Sean Cran. We're just going to say clown. What's more, the company claims Corey and Clown lied when they told fans they contacted Joey's family to express condolences in the wake of his death. It looks like the beef goes back pretty far here. The company claims Joey's bandmates abruptly booted him from the group via email while he was struggling with acute transverse myelitis, a condition that caused him to lose the use of his left leg. I will say it's funny, like, again, a lot of people read TMZ that don't know like the band and metal and stuff, but it's like, it looks like the beef goes back pretty far. The company claims Joey's bandmates abruptly booted him. Yeah! It was like the biggest news in the metal world when it happened. But anyways, I digress. Let's continue. According to the suit, Joey and Slipknot subsequently agreed to return all of Joey's property, including his musical gear and equipment. But the company claims that never happened, saying at least 22 items remain in the group's possession, including things like Joey's masks, his iconic Pearl drum set, and his Adidas sneakers. The lawsuit says some of those items are part of the display in the band's traveling museum known as Knotfest. I have actually, I believe, watched this video right here that's on screen, and there are 100% a lot of Joey's things in that video. Masks, drums, shoes, drumsticks, like they have a lot of his stuff on there. Article continues saying, after the complaint was filed, Slipknot responded with its own legal documents denying the claims and asking the court to dismiss the lawsuit. Look at this ad right here. See Slipknot live. Get tickets as low as $109.05. Jesus. Oh, interesting. According to the Loudwire article, it looks like they put a little more in here. It says in documents obtained by Page 6, vocalist Corey Taylor and percussionist Clown in particular are named as using Jordison's death to boost sales for the album. The lawsuit filed by Steamroller LLC states, while family, friends, and fans mourned the loss of the legendary drummer, neither bandmate expressed condolences to Jordison's family after his passing. Instead, Corey Taylor and Clown heartlessly sought to profit off of Jordison's death. Taylor publicly dedicated The End So Far to Jordison, claiming that the realization of Jordison's passing crept in while making the album. Corey Taylor even acknowledged that he and Clown had mistreated Jordison in an interview, telling fans that they were hoping to mend fences with him, and it's one of those things that tells you whatever you need to do it now, because you never know when you're going to lose somebody. The estate continues. Perhaps worst of all, Clown and Corey publicly lied to fans that they had contacted Jordison's family to check on them and express their condolences and love for Jordison in the wake of his passing. This was utterly false and deeply upsetting for Jordison's family to read such a blatant lie on the internet. It is clear that Corey and Clown did not actually care about Jordison or his family. They cared only about drumming up publicity and sales of the new album. Wow, according to this lawsuit was actually filed in June of like 6 months ago. Wow, that's kind of crazy that this stayed quiet until like, what, a few days ago. As of this writing, neither Slipknot or Corey or Clown have responded to the lawsuit on social media. And they probably won't. They're notorious at just not saying things. We just had Jay Weinberg kicked out of the band within the last couple months, and the band really hasn't said anything. Jay has said more than they have about the entire thing. There's a bunch of other stuff in here talking about like what's been going on and stuff like that, and like the firing of Joey. But you know, it's no secret to a lot of people in the metal scene because it was such a big deal. Joey was fired via email by Corey and Clown. He was blindsided. He originally, Slipknot tried to say that he quit the band, and he came out and said, "No way, I never quit this band. Like, they sent me a bullshit email and told me I was done with the band." And then obviously we got Jay Weinberg in as his replacement eventually. And since then, Slipknot has gone through a lot of member changes. And with everything that's going on right now, like with the firing of Jay Weinberg and stuff like that, people have been speculating like how much of a band this really is or who's in charge. And if I'm not mistaken, the actual partnership that is Slipknot officially as a business was originally formed as Corey, Clown, Paul, and Joey. I'm pretty sure now with Paul and Joey both passed away, the only two official like band business members are Corey and Clown. We've been joking for a while that it is the Corey and Clown show and everybody else is just kind of there for the ride, but it appears that that's what it really is. So kind of weird, man. I do want to kind of talk about this and be as objective as possible about what I think. So there was a statement from the actual like lawyers from the estate representing Joey that claimed that album sales for The End So Far weren't doing well, so that they made up this whole thing that they're dedicating the album to Joey and saying that they wish they could have mended fences with him and stuff like that. And they wanted to boost sales. Just for clarification and to be fair, I just looked up the timeline of events of that happening. The End So Far came out on September 30th, 2022. And articles about Corey dedicating the album to Joey started coming out on October 5th. 2022. So you're talking about 6 days. I find it hard to believe that that whole thing was intentionally planned because record sales weren't doing good. Yes, they have ways of knowing how the record is doing over the days leading up to first week numbers, but like I personally have a hard time believing that that would have been planned just to boost record sales. But that's not to say it didn't happen. Bozzy and Chat just asked, isn't first week sales a key driver though? 100%. And there are a lot of marketing things that go on around that time to boost album sales. But if it was after a week or two, I might believe that more, that they were trying to boost album sales. But him saying that shortly after the album dropped is a little interesting to me. That's just my opinion. But here's the difficult thing in this situation, and I'm not taking side with either party. For the estate of Joey Jordison to claim that the band doesn't care about Joey at all, they're making that all up for PR and publicity and, you know, saying that they miss Joey and stuff like that. They're saying they're lying. You can't say that, definitely. You don't know. Something could have changed. Like, obviously, we know that there was a tumultuous relationship between Corey and Clown and Joey, like in the later years of him getting fired before his death and stuff like that. But like, you don't know what's going on in their heads. I mean, they're probably saying that off of past experience of like Joey fighting with them over stuff anyways, but you never know, dude. There literally could have been something that happened in the studio that made Corey really miss Joey and want to dedicate the album to him and be like, man, we f***ed up. We could have mended fences with one of our old brothers and we never got the chance to. That happens. It absolutely happens. So I think what I'm trying to say is that assertion and that assumption and that accusation, that can't really be proved. Now, what his family claimed that they're lying about expressing their condolences, that could be proven. I mean, they straight up said, like, Corey and Clown said that, you know, we reached out to Joey's family to share our condolences, and Joey's family is like, no, they didn't. So that, I mean, that's kind of shady. That's just you trying to look like the good person, if that's true. But again, wasn't there. Don't know if it's true. But here's the things that we can say for sure. They're definitely using Joey's stuff. Like, there are literally videos of tours of the Museum of Knotfest on the road, and they 100% for sure have Joey's stuff in there. Now, this could be getting tricky with like legal stuff. Maybe with their stuff before where stuff was supposed to be returned, there were legal proceedings that happened where Slipknot was allowed to keep certain things, but his family isn't aware of it. This is for the courts to decide, but the statement itself, are they profiting off of Joey Jordison's death? Yes, 100% for sure they are. I don't think that's arguable or undeniable at all, but that's not for us to decide. That's for the courts to decide because there's probably legal documents and tons of things going on and stuff like that. I see a lot of people in chat bringing up Paul, their original bass player. That is an entirely different situation because they never kicked Paul out. Paul sadly passed away from an overdose, which his family did win a settlement on as like an accidental death or an unlawful death or something like that. I can't remember the exact legal words, but that was a very abrupt thing that happened when he was in the band. So them making an album called The Gray Chapter, I would say that was definitely more of a dedication to him and an homage to him that they meant. I would say there's more of a chance of them meaning that than dedicating the album to Joey. I don't know, man. Here's the bottom line with this one for me. This is very personal, so it's hard to really say what's true and what's not, especially when we talk about people's feelings and stuff like that. So I don't really want to take sides on this one or really give my opinion on that, but I think the only thing, like I said, we can definitely say is that they're for sure profiting from his death just by having all of his stuff in their museum, for sure. Now, whether that was done with malicious intent, I don't know. I don't know if the only reason they have that stuff in there is so they could be making money off him. I would actually think that that's probably not true. I mean, if you're going to do a museum to the history of the band, Joey is, I would say, the most important member in the history of that band, probably followed by Corey. Man, the more we sit here and talk about this, the more I realize this is one of those situations that I know everybody's going to want to talk about. And there's probably tons of media outlets that have already reported on this. And like, everybody likes drama. And like, I'm not better than anybody. We're here talking about it right now. But honestly, it doesn't change my perception of Slipknot currently anyways, because I already kind of thought that they were super shady as it is with all the business stuff going on. I just hope that maybe both parties can come to an agreement or a settlement or something like that. But who knows? Yeah, I agree with Bob Aruski, man. To wrap this up, like literally what brings this to a close is paperwork. They're going to have to bring up every single piece of paperwork that they've had since Joey was kicked out of the band because they claimed there was a written agreement that he would get his stuff returned. So if that exists, that's all they're going to need to bring to the table. Like that right there is all his family and his estate is going to need to bring to the table. But again, this is kind of an interesting situation. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know a ton about law. I can't tell you what I think is going to happen or who's right and wrong and stuff like that. But it is an interesting thing to bring up. And it is, I mean, kind of sad that this kind of drama and stuff goes on in this business this long after somebody hasn't been in a band and somebody's passed away and stuff. But we've seen it before, like we talked about with like Dimebag's estate and Dean Guitars. And there's probably been a ton of other stuff going on as, you know, with other bands too. But a lot of you guys in chat have brought up some good points, and we've talked about a lot more on Twitch than what you're actually seeing on YouTube because I cut these videos down. But I've seen other news outlets like, we're going to be following this story and bringing you the latest. I don't know if we're going to have to really go that far unless this really gets out of hand and some like huge bombshell revelations are brought up. But like, I don't know, for you guys watching on YouTube later, let me know what you think in the comments. But until next time, thank you to all of the Twitch chat for being here. If you are watching on YouTube later and you'd like to join us on Twitch, my handle is twitch.tv/TankTheTech. We talk about a lot of music industry stuff and do a lot of other stupid things too. My handle on most everything on social media is @TankTheTech. But until next time, wherever you are in the world, be safe, be kind to each other. I love you all, and I will be back soon with another video.